Can you hear me on the microphone? We've just put this on rather than stand behind the lectern. Perfect. My name is Jamie. I'm here today to talk about Global Lithium. We're an ASX listed exploration company and we have the exciting Marble Bar Lithium project. Before I get started though, just a couple of housekeeping matters. I'd like to advise everyone that we are in a trading halt this morning while we undertake a capital raising. It doesn't prohibit me from giving this presentation today. I'd also like to extend a warm thank you to the people who've put this conference together. It's a wonderful venue. Busselton is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful part of the world. Very grateful to be here today. And I'd like to extend thank you to our loyal shareholders who have made the effort to come down and spend time with us and be part of the conference and our journey. Now, before I get into the presentation direct, I'd like to say that I'd like to start with a photo. And this photo is of our drill rig up in Marble Bar drilling lithium targets right now. We have a program underway. We are a busy company and we are busy exploring by investing in drilling and other activities around the site. And for me, I like to go and I like to watch the first hole we put into the ground because it's important to me to get the program off on a good start. Our primary focus is our Marble Bar Lithium project, which is a hard rock spodumene project located in one of the most infrastructure-rich mining jurisdictions on the planet, the Pilbara. More than that, it's a Tier 1 lithium province. There are two world-class lithium deposits around 100 kilometres from us, which is a stone's throw in the Pilbara. And what's important about those two deposits is that our project shares a lot of geological similarity with those two projects, being Pilbara, which is owned by Pilbara Minerals, and they've had a very busy week in terms of announcing some joint ventures, but also the results of some recent auction pricing, which I'll talk about in a little while. And Wodgina, which is owned in joint venture between Albemarle, one of the world's largest lithium companies, and Mineral Resources. And now Mineral Resources announced this week that they're looking to restart Wodgina. So we're seeing around us in the Pilbara quite a lot of activity in the lithium space. And for us, it's a really exciting time because we're at the forefront of growth for our project. We've got an incredibly large project area, we've got a lithium resource already, and we are investing time and energy into growing that resource. We think it's a beautiful time to be in the lithium market. We're going through a consumer-driven structural shift in the way the world deals with energy, and lithium is a key raw material to be part of that transition. And that's why we do what we do. In our project area, we have already discovered the Archer lithium deposit. It's a 10.5 million tonne resource at 1% lithium oxide. It's a really good start. It's a new discovery. It's not a rehashed project that's been around. We found it and we're drilling it. Outside of Archer though, we have a very large project area and we've already established lithium mineralisation across more than 6 kilometres of strike, and we have lithium in drill holes that are more than 15 kilometres apart. It's a very large system. And to tackle that, we've got RC programs underway right now that are chasing up targets to see if we can grow our project size and then come back later next year with broader programs to really start to understand what we've got. In parallel with our exploration, we're doing work, preliminary metallurgical test work already, even though we're still very early in our life cycle, because we're seeking to understand our deposit as early and as quickly as we can. The market for lithium is exploding, and lithium prices around the world are increasing and increasing quickly. When we started our IPO journey earlier this year, lithium spodumene prices, which are the prices most relevant for us, were sitting at around $400 a tonne. And you can see on the slide behind me that those prices are already up around $2,500 a tonne this calendar year. That's a 500% increase in price in a very short space of time. And every commentator that we look at is forecasting that there's a really good chance that this market will continue and continue for some years to come as the world transitions towards electric vehicles. And we're well funded. We've got $7 million in cash at the moment, and that puts us in a really good spot to carry forward our plans into next year. A little bit of history about us. We were founded by Dr. Tianmin Chen back about 3 years ago, so we've got a good operating history. We've been around for a while now, but we only listed on the ASX about 6 months ago because we felt that now was the right time to bring our company to market And we felt that now was the right time for investors to have the opportunity to participate in our story. We're trading at around 40 to 45 cents at the moment on a 20-cent IPO, so we've had a good return for our shareholders. We think there's more to come. And our market cap is around 55 million right now. We've got a strong, supportive shareholder base, which has put us in well stead to carry forward into the next 12 months. I like to talk about people before we get too far into technicals, because to me, people are the platform for any business. So Dr. Chen on our board is a founder of the company and a very well-regarded member of the mining community in Western Australia. We have Warwick Hazeldine as our chair, and Warwick brings a deep set of experience and skills, not just in PR, but also in critical lithium transactions that have happened here in this state in the last 5 years. My background is mining engineering, geology, and finance. I've got a few degrees, but most of my career has been spent helping companies in the bulk commodity space, like lithium, carry their project from inception through to development or value crystallisation. But the most important person that I see in our business at the moment is Brian Burke. Brian is our exploration manager who has been tasked with growing our project, and Brian's expertise comes from his previous experience with Altura Mining, where he led that project from greenfields to 40 million tonnes. And the reason I raise that is Altura, Bear Pilgangora pegmatite project, very, very similar geologically speaking to what we've got, and it's really encouraging for us to attract someone with Brian's expertise. But if people are a platform for a business, then ESG and sustainability are our pillars, and we've kept that really simple. ESG, environmental, social and governance. It is at the forefront of the board's mind in every decision that we make. We want to do the right thing by not just our stakeholders, not just our employees and staff, but by the society in which we operate and the community where we're active. So we spend a lot of time engaging with local town, traditional owners, suppliers, contractors, etc. Jumping into the technicals a little bit now, and please forgive me if I get too far into it, I'm a geologist. We have an emerging hard rock lithium discovery. And I think what the key concept on this slide that I'd like to draw your attention to is this scale bar. This is a 5-kilometre scale bar. Now that's important because when we look at our map here, our project site has what we call the Goldilocks zone, which is where lithium is predicted to fall out in the geological model. Now, not only is it predicted to fall out, but we're seeing it in drilling, we're seeing it in practice, so we're proving the model. And we can see we've got our Archer project here at 10.5 million tonnes, which is our start, but then we've got lithium in drilling 15 kilometres away, which we believe is part of the same system. And so what we're doing as a company is really trying to understand and explore to see what happens in between those 2 points, and is there something else there that we can discover to grow our resource base. Zooming in a little bit on Archer itself. Archer comprises multiple pegmatites that express at surface, which means they outcrop. You can walk over the top of them, you can kick the spodumene on the surface. We're already getting intercepts like 16 metres at 1.4% lithium oxide, which is actually a really encouraging starting intercept, and it's part of our resource base. But what's exciting about that is it's only 37 metres below the surface. And that pegmatite outcrops, I've walked across the top of that pegmatite, and it's within 100 metres of a sealed road. And that sealed road goes all the way through to Port Hedland, which already exports spodumene concentrate. But for us, since we've listed, we've already done a couple of programs. We're into our 3rd drilling program in 4 months. We're active. And we are seeing results outside of our mineral resource, which give us a lot of encouragement that in time we've got a good opportunity to grow that resource. And we're seeing results like 28 metres at 1.51%. That's not true width, but it's actually really exciting for us to return those sort of results so early in our listed life. If we zoom out to a little bit of a plan view of Archer at the moment, what we can see here is we have the sealed road that comes up through around the side of our project area, and this red is bringing the resource through to the surface. And you can see that we've got large gaps in our resource that give us a lot of opportunity to explore, to see if we can grow it. Not just beneath the road reserve, and roads always have a habit of following geological contacts, but also outside the road once we get more established on the site. The dotted outline there is the plan view that we were just looking at, and the reason I wanted to show that as a dotted outline is you can see the size of the project area that we're working in. When we listed, we took a bit of a risk and we stepped out and we decided to do some drilling 6 kilometres away from Archer. And it came back highly positive, highly exciting. And so the reason we have a drill rig on site right now is to follow up on all those interesting hits that we're seeing. But not only that, when we've got something that's 6 kilometres long and 3 kilometres wide, there's something like 18 million square metres. We're trying to find targets that are as wide as this podium here. So it's actually quite challenging, but it's also quite exciting. And what we've done in the last little while is invest in targeting so that as we come back into this program and future programs, we're doing as much work as we can to expedite the discovery and growth for our project. We've invested in innovative use of drone technology. So we have had a drone fly our project area and take photographs down to 4 centimetre resolution across that whole project area, which means that we can have our geologists working from Perth so that they don't have to work in the heat or on site or remotely, and we never lose the IP. And we've used that in combination with a bunch of other geological techniques which have helped us plan and start to execute our latest program. And this targeting exercise has already identified more than 100 pegmatite targets. Now, not all of those will have spodumene, but the fact is that we're seeing that the program is working, we're seeing the targeting working, and it's giving us every opportunity to follow up and seek to grow. We've also bought the tenements to the south. Now, they're not as advanced as the area that I'm showing on the slide here, but what we can see, as we move away from Archer towards the south and into that zone where we've seen lithium in drilling 15 kilometres away, we've now started greenfields exploration work on those tenements. And that gives us another exciting phase of news flow over the next little while. Outside of lithium, we've got a gold project that we're working up called Twin Veins. And I need to mention that because while our focus is lithium, we're seeing some really exciting results come out of that project. And in time, we think it could develop into a second story. One area I'd like to focus on though is location, location, location. Outside of the project itself, our location near Marble Bar is very, very enviable. We are not a remote site. The town of Marble Bar is 15 minutes drive from our project site. When we travel there, we stay in a hotel. There's a pub in Marble Bar. There's an airstrip that's actually on our tenements. There's 4 types of accommodation. There's a service station. There's a general store. We have access to people and services. And that sealed road that you can see on the slide there goes all the way through to Port Hedland, and that road carries quad road trains already, and Port Hedland already exports spodumene concentrate. So in the event that we find economic mineralisation and get to that point of development, we're actually going to be really well placed to take it forward. Our programs are underway into a resource update next year. And I'm going to wrap this up quickly now, because I'm getting the wind up. And EVs are part of the global megatrend, which is why we do what we do. And having uncommitted spodumene supply in the Pilbara is a really strategic place to be. Thank you very much.